Now guys, today we're going to look to solve the following equation, and we can see it's an algebraic equation. So if I'm going to solve it, I need to get x on its own or find what x is. So our objective will be in this question here to isolate x. First thing I can see is I have two fractions, and I want to eliminate these fractions. To eliminate the fractions, I must turn all terms into a fraction. This is already a fraction, this is already a fraction. To turn 16 into a fraction, I turn it into 16 over 1. Next bit now, I must bracket all the tops. They're all bracketed, so we're getting a bit of format here. I need then a common denominator of the bases. And 2, 3 and 1 all divide into 6. And you can figure that out by simply multiplying them all together. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, and 6 multiplied by 1 is 6, and all three of these numbers divide into 6. I now take the common denominator and multiply it by the tops of all the fractions, which is like so. I will then multiply out each of these brackets on the top of the fractions. 6 by 3x is going to be 18x. 6 by 5 is going to be 30. Bring down my plus. 6 by x is going to be 6x. And 6 multiplied by minus 4 is going to be minus 24. And that is still over 2. And that is still over 3. And that's going to be equal to 6 multiplied by 16, which is 96. And that is still over 1. So I've multiplied out the three tops of the fractions, and I'm now going to simplify the fractions. Now to simplify the fractions, I divide the base into the top. And that's what a fraction is. It's the top divided by the base here. So we're now going to go 18x divided by 2 is 9x. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Bring down my plus. 6x divided by 3 is 2x. And minus 24 divided by 3 is minus 8. And bring down my equal sign. And 96 divided by 1 is 96. So we've done what we said. We said we want to eliminate the fractions, and that's what we've done. There's no fractions to deal with anymore. But our task is still to isolate this x and find out what it is. So the right hand side is simplified as much as it can. I'm going to look at the left hand side here. Is there any way I can simplify this? And there is. I'm going to match the like terms. And on the left hand side, 9x and 2x are both like terms. So let's situate them side by side. And 15 and minus 8, they're like terms also. So let's write those two terms adjacent to each other. And that's still equal to 96. Let's set about simplifying this. 9x plus 2x is 11x. And 15 take away 8 is 7. And that's equal to 96. So we're making tremendous progress here. And the equation is far simpler than it was at the beginning. I still must look to solve x and get it on its own. So let's look to get rid of this 7. And if I want to get rid of plus 7, I subtract 7 from it. And I must subtract 7 from both sides of the equation. Whatever we do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other. And I subtracted 7 from both sides. 7 take away 7 is 0. Therefore I'm left with 11x. And 96 take away 7 is 89. So we're nearly there. 11 is multiplied by x. So I want 11 multiplied by something will give me 89. So I would like to eliminate this 11 if I can. So I divide it by 11. The opposite of division of multiplication is division. So I've executed that there. And if I divide one side by 11, I must divide the other side by 11. So 11 divided by 11 leaves you at 1. And 1 multiplied by x is just x. So x is 89 over 11. And that is your final answer.